doing the calculations. And believe it or not, I grew up, I cannot stand math. Outside of accounting for my business and numerology, I could not stand math my entire life. So it's just really interesting how the universe can align and make things that you avoided like the plague, something that that you'll integrate into your daily life. So I just wanted to share that, and I'm excited to check out your page.
It really is, Janice, and for me, this is a part of me coming home in a sense because my mother would never admit this. She's a sweet woman, and I love her so much. I'm so grateful for her for being my mothership. She don't like me to overly call her that. She let me say it every once in a while. But my mother, when I say I like to say the alchemist's daughter because I bet people might just assume that I'm naturally talking about my father. When I tell you that I know for sure that I chose the right mommy and daddy to facilitate my learning, growth, and development to do this work because, baby, I'm telling you now, my mother, it feels like she had some spare time, so she decided she was going to create the earth. She was like, I'll just put some things in order. And so when I see her, in her, what I consider to be her alchemical state, when she's really, like, taking things that seem to be very mundane things and then shifting them into the divine, I'm just really in awe. And I'm like, okay. And then she'll still, say a cutting remark to me. She's all woman and she's all God at the same time. So she's a grand example for me, to rise into myself. And then the other person that I give nod to with this page is my dad, of course. People that know me know, like when I talk about esoteric things, the majority of the time I talk more about my dad because my father was really my spiritual teacher when it related to that. A teacher of mine said that because my parents loved me so much that is what they consider an immaculate conception because they were present in love when they created me. And I'm grateful for that. Excuse me, because for all of the humanness that they brought to the table, they also brought a lot of love and acceptance for me, and it's been helpful to me in walking my path. So, like you said, the alchemist's daughter is a nod to both of my parents, and also it's me acknowledging another part of myself. So maybe I'm back.
And you gotta listen. You gotta listen to Iccha because she will say some things, and if you're not listening, you'll miss it. One of the things that I always catch a lot of the subtle words that you say, but they have really great meanings. The humanness. Again, one of the words that you use, the humanness. They brought to the table, and just bringing that to its most raw and absolute level, and the understanding of that, and how that translates into one's life. Having the human interaction and the human side of their parentals and family close to them, and how that shapes one as a person, and understanding that in a positive way is really, that's really important. So again, I want to note, if you have any questions, and of course, anyway, if you want to leave any additional questions for Iccha Devi Ra, we're winding down a bit. You can go to our Facebook page, www.igniteyoursoulconnection.com, and we'll make sure that she answers those for you. So moving on a bit, I want to ask you really quickly about the winter solstice. Winter solstice is coming up. Is there anything that you'll be doing in observance of that? When did you start? Just share that.
Oh my goodness! Do you know the winter solstice? I'm so grateful. My birthday is very, very closely aligned with the winter solstice. I am December 16th, and the solstice is normally celebrated around 21st or 22nd, depending on who you talk to and what hemisphere they're in, etc. And to be that close to the solstice, as I have grown in my wisdom and in my womanness, has really helped me to draw within myself and take this time to express my gratitude, as well as to start reflection. It will not even start reflection. It's more at that point starting to vision and to create and really to go deeply inside. And so one of the ways that I've started that is that I have started pre-cleansing. And so what I am doing is that I have started to take a really clear look at some of the things I put in my body on a regular basis. And so I'm keeping a journal of that, and then I'll be starting cleansing, I think, in about precisely 2 weeks. And so for now, I've been like really just observing, just in loving witness, no judgment, just what it is that I'm putting into my body in every way. You know, in my relationships, in my relationships, in my food, in my drinks, in my, media involvement, and my involvement just all the way around. And so I can really be clear about how I've been manifesting, because since I have started doing some more personal work, my manifestation has been off the chain. I mean, I have really been able to vision and manifest in a way that I was not connected to before. Now I recognize that I've been manifesting the whole time. It's just that some things I was more conscious about and intentional about than others, but still they all netted results. So then it's now I'm recognizing, okay, when I've netted these results that are different than what my intentions were, how do I start to move into the spaces of bringing that more aligned with what it is that I desire truly? And so that's the work that I've been doing now. So I've been meeting with a core group of people who are absolutely amazing, and we've been learning a lot of coaching techniques and different other things that we'll be able to utilize with clients outward, as well as utilize in our own lives, coaching ourselves into and through our ascendancy. So those are the things that are really going on with me. Very specifically speaking is that I am pre-cleansing and about to go into deep cleansing mode so that I can really connect more deeply with more of my soul purpose and move more intentionally in 2012.
Absolutely. And then another question is, the conversation, speaking of 2012, there's so much conversation around it. Just what's your take on it, how you're feeling about the energy surrounding it? Do you have any concerns? I just want to get your perspective.
I'm grateful that you asked me that question. As far as the energy that is surrounding it, I'm grateful that it is a part of the general conversation, because it's very rare that people who do not, quote unquote, consider themselves spiritual people or people that are focused on this type of occurrence, which we're basically talking about is a heavenly body, a celestial occurrence. They're talking about it every single day. I think that's giving an opportunity for those that are willing and that are and able to assist people in dealing with the thoughts and feelings that are coming up for them. For myself, I'm grateful to be alive during this time of transition that we're going to experience and that all of us are already experiencing, and to feel whole, well, and healthy and willing and able to assist others and support others as we walk our path through this transition, because it pretty much is a celestial occurrence that is a common. And like I said, for people that normally don't talk about celestial or heavenly things like that, it's nice to hear that conversation being in the forefront. I will say that I can see where it's also giving me an opportunity to practice my patience and to learn how to have more compassion when I encounter people, when they talk about it, talk about what is occurring and how it is affecting them in their lives. To be able to disconnect from what I think is the way that they should be reacting to it, to really hear them and to be in love and witness of them, and if there's any way that I can assist or facilitate, to be there. So I'm grateful for what's occurring. I'm grateful for the support that I have and to be supportive to others during this time.
That's beautiful. So just before we go, again, I just wanted to give people the opportunity one more time to get the information about, any upcoming workshops or products or books or just anything you have going on. If you could just share that with our listeners and how they can get in contact with you in the future, just let us know, and we just want to make sure that information is out there.
Absolutely. I'm always expressing my gratitude. I crack myself up, but anyway, that's why I was laughing. I have so many things going on. At the beginning of the call, part of my bio says I'm a multidimensional talent. Man, I have so much going on now. So anyway, I am in the process of releasing a small series, which is called the Mini Collection, MANY collection of some of my inspirations as it relates to my culinary expertise. You'll be able to find out all about that if you go on my page on Facebook, The Reluctant Vegetarian. So it's facebook.com/The Reluctant Vegetarian. Also, if you want to get in touch with me as it relates to anything having to do with that side of me, you can inbox me on Facebook for that or anything at Iccha Devi. Iccha Devi Ra is my page on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Iccha Devi Ra. And you can inbox me and ask me questions as it relates to the Ignite Your Soul connection or anything having to do with Reluctant Vegetarian. Also, I do a weekly radio show on Blog Talk Radio, and I explore all different kinds of things that I have been inspired to make, as well as things that people have asked me to create, and art and creativity in and around Chicago and around the world at large as it relates to culture, creativity, or vegetarian things. So all of those interests kind of get melded into one on my radio show, and so that's loads of fun for me because I get to be like all different parts of myself at once. It's a lot of fun. I play a lot of music on there too. So that's Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Blog Talk Radio /WTRC. And I have a couple of upcoming projects, and they're like little babies in the works, and so I'll let them stay undercover until I go bam.
Yeah, but haven't you recently done like food education or demos at like Whole Foods? And I think I remember you being, if I'm right, or haven't you done something like?
Oh my God.
Weren't you at? You were in some. Which magazine was it? Someone mentioned you in some magazine. Girl, come on, share with the world. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but I can't remember. Let me know. What was it?
Magazine. I was in Essence Magazine, babe, and it's the one that came out in June with Alicia Keys on the cover, and it was Essence Magazine, and it was thanks to a sister friend of mine that was writing an article about all of the ways to save money. And one of the ways that I talked about was how to buy beautiful, fresh, local ingredients right locally in your area, okay? And you could save like about up to 35%. A lot of times people will say, oh, my goodness, the farmer's market is so expensive. But when you buy things that are local and fresh and in season and you know how to work with them, then you can really save a load of cash. And I just this past Saturday was at the 61st Street Farmer's Market for the last demo of the market, and I made a beautiful pasta with collard greens and sunflower seed pods in it and stuff. It was really awesome. And I was at Whole Foods this past week, and I did a demonstration called The Rest of the Plate. And so in that one, I said, hey, eat whatever protein you want for your holidays. If you want something really outstanding for the rest of the plate, I'm your girl. So I did that demonstration. I shared my weightless goat milk biscuits, and it was a lot of fun to share them because they're really quite tasty, and it was lovely to see people's reaction, number one, to how simple they are to make, and number two, how much of a complex flavor they are when you taste them. And so then I also have an affiliation with another organization that is called the Southside Hub of Production, which is also in Hyde Park, and it's an organization focused on art and creativity and all kinds of passionate pursuits like that extend out of the neighborhood. Another one of our Ignite Your Soul presenters, your Soul Connection presenters, has a connection there too, Dana Lynn. She has a studio there, and she also does performances and classes there. So those are really some awesome resources. I'm normally found out and about doing demos here and there because sharing information is something that I know that I was born to do, and it's a part of my love affair. I love to gather information and then share it.
So the most important question before we go, are you ready?